bidiri mana akanụ atụghị nchekwa ọnụ ekelekwa nga ekele ọnụ dodori Simon Ekpa ọnụ ekele ego nwoke ibe enu ọkụ si egwebe m ndị ekwuribe anyị nụ ọnụ ekelekwa agụ ọnụ ekelekwa agụ ọnụ ekelekwa agụ na ngwụwa bata obie na ngwụwa bata obie mabụletara Biafra ka obi edere anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome na ndị na-eme m ife alụrụ egbu ome bụletara Biafra ka obi dị ụmụ mmadụ odori ọtụtụ ịgbalụ n'akwa ka nna ya owulo n'osi gba na elu nya ka obi dị ụmụ mmanụ mmanụ afagharị tinye ịkpa m n'akpa metenarị n'ife ime m n'aka memenarị n'ife ịkpazie m n'ọnụ ma ekwu narị iyi n'okwu nnu isi na ihe bịa convention kemgbe 29 Novemba na Latinu na-abatara Disemba 3 declare anyị Biafra nụ nwezi ka ime elu m ka obi dị ụmụ mmanụ afagharị isi n'ihu eze akpata n'obi onye a na-akpọ nwere ife ọ na-eme na-ezebata n'obi nwere ife ọ na-eme na-ezebata n'obi ụda adụ ife ife abịanụ ewetara anyị Biafra be anyị nụ oge adị anyị mmanụ anyị emerụ ka isi emeri ma mere anyị ka isi emenụ asị aka nnukwu aka ekpe akwa aka nni dodori mere anyị kiri na akwa ya esoghị na asụsụ tie gị ikenu isi na egbe ebiri n'elu anyị edebe na ala anyị edebe n'elu onye si na ọ na-afọ anyị eme ya ọfụ n'anya anyị ọkwa isi na onwe ka isi kwado oyi anyị eme gị ibe ha afụ n'anya nụ onye si na nke anyị na-eme ya dụ ma ya nwere ike tii na nke anyị nụ onye si na isi na awa gara eji nke ewere na-aja nụ dodori ekerekwa gị eke ụbọchị eke na-aga alụrụ ọfọ dodori ya atụ iji flebe elu ma gba alụ nguzi ụbọchị ekenu ma nwa alụ ya edoko oge elu ụmụ ma nwa alụ oji ụgbọkọ ngochasịala ụnụ achara acha nwere etiti dodori na-atọ n'ije anaka ugo na mmiri mmanụ ugo na-atụ ugo alụ ụlọ eyi onye ka na-ada ka na gọlọ ụta bụ ụbọchị ekenu eke kee ikpe oke weta ife ọmarị ọdụ m ekelekwa gị n'okwu ekwe ego na ọmaka ya emere unu na mkpụrụ ọgwụ ya apụ apụ mkpata ọbata ya apụ apụ wee mkpa ahụ mmụọ na-apụ apụ mmụọ oge nnu na agwa alụmokwu na-afagharị gwa m ife ma agwa ike obi dị gị mma n'onu eri maka ịkpa m na ọkpa mejenarị unu ife na ịkpa m n'aka ọbara tụrụ ọbara ya alụghị ọbara tụrụ eri ife na-ekwu n'anya arị atụrụ iso na ndị odi ndị akara anọrị ngwamele anyị gobide anyị mmanụ na Naijiria adọzi nwa ọnọdụ odori maka na mkpakọta sị obodo afọ na manya natakwa rio mana ibulatara anyị afọ na ọnọdụ elu dodori ọdụ na-ekelekwa alụ na eze agụtara obi ọnụmekenekwa ego ọgbakọbalụ m na nwere mgbe ịgbalụ ndị zu ọsọ dodori na ha ma ife ọdọgwu na-ele ha nụ iwe chiri medal atụ atara ha si anyị chọrọ ime ka ha fụ n'anya arị mgbe bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ na-atụkwa n'azụ ụgbọ m ife oyimi na akọ n'oyi ihe melu m ka obido ụmụ mmanụ enweghị ihe ọgụ n'okwu eyi sigụpụtara Biafra ka anyị nwee n'onwe anyị dodori ekele kele n'ọlụ m na ndị ka anọ ebe nyere ka igwe kwụsị ntolu ụlọ anyị eme ka a gwara anyị dodori otu unu tiri weta maka na obi ịbatabachi n'obi nụ ka ebụrụ mgbọrọgwụ na ụdị eyi ma mere anyị emerụ oyi Finland be anyị o ndị lati onume ekenekwa unu elezasa stọp onume ekenekwa ego faụnda onume ekenekwa ego adanda bụ na ndị ekene onume ekenekwa ego achara ugo nwaanyị ọgba ugegbe oyibo nụ onume ekene egu n'okwu eyi nwakabaka esi eme ọdịnala dodori ọnụma ekenekwa unu donu ka ọnụm kenekwala unu ka unu ha wee kpuchie ya onume ekenekwa unu ndị muvin tren onume ekenekwa unu lizin ọfisa n'obodo niile onume ekenekwa unu ndị banyị nọ frans onume ekenekwa unu Germany onume ekenekwa unu ndị obodo unu onume ekenekwa unu onume ekenekwa unu na-eme ka obidiri mana akanụ atụghị nchekwa ọnụ ekelekwa nga ekele ọnụ dodori Simon Ekpa ọnụme ekele ego nwoke ibe enu ọkụ si egwebe m ndị ekwuribe anyị nụ ọnụme ekelekwa agụ ọnụme ekelekwa agụ ọnụme ekelekwa agụ si na ngwụwa bata obie na ngwụwa bata obie ma bụletara anyị Biafra ka obi edere anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome na ndị na-eme m ife alụrụ egbu ome bụletara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmadụ dodori What if you want to know what kind of young ladies that you don't go to Mumano? I'm not a material if you remember not a material if you pass them on the
Oh, yeah, Kurukane, man. About to be here. Oh, you know, here we go to President the zoo police now checkpoint in Biafra land.
Anywhere, I follow ihe yiri ndị Biafra. Mgbe Usman Dan Fodio buru agha nke ya wee bata wee gbugide ndị ugwu wee gbuchie ha wee were ana ha sọnsọ that story ahụ akụkọ ahụ ihe a na-akọrọ anyị akọgide aka ka Usman Dan Fodio si wee gbuchie ndị ugwu o wee bụzi ya datụna onye sizi n'ugwu Awụsa wee pụta ma agụ ụra n'ala Igbo isisi agbakwana ejekwana dị ọgụ na ọ na-agbakwa daga maka ọrụ ihe akọrọ anyị ndị a were egwu Igbo onye Awụsa ma agụ ụra ịgbachi ya nkịtị maka na ịma na ọ ga-ama gị daga mana ọ macha gị daga ahụ nwe ihe ị ga-eme ndị a wee were ụjọ wee jide anyị wee na-dagbuo onye ugwu mee gị ihe ịgbachi nkịtị ị na-edi ya mana onye nwanne gị bụ onye Igbo mee gị ihe o wee Biafra mee gị ihe isi ka egbuo ya nkịta nke echi maka na ịma na ọ naghị ama daga aga m agwa unu na daga anyị kịta abụrụzi against ndị Igbo daga anyị kịta bụ against ndị ahụ bịara ube anyị igbu anyị kwotu Usman Dan Fodio style a ga-ama ha ifu na eva n'ụwa niile a daga niile ha malụ n'ugwu Awụsa anyị ga-amakarịa ha nwasef ebe a ka anyị nọ amachazịa ozi onwe ya we will now begin to idozi ana anyị dozie ana Igbo dozie ana Biafra ọ dịla anyị mma maka na ihe anyị na-achọ ka ọ dị onye ọbụla na mma ka ihe niile a na-eme na-aga aga onye nwere isi ọgụgụ ọ gụọ onye nwere isi eji alụpụta ihe o mee ya na-alụ ya na-afọ ya na ya na-eme kọmpetishọn n'ọhịa ọhịa na-eme ka ụwa dị mma onye ọbụla na-egori ndewonu otu unu kwenu kedu ihe a na-akpọ ya sef otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ kwenu otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ kwenu Biafra kwezuonu asị egwu nalọmịtọ
ọbata obi iji ya odogwu nwoke ọ ga-adịrị gị na ụmụnna m ọbata obi daalụ a sị na onye na-eme
ụbọchị taa ụbọchị gị ọbata obi ụmụ Igbo ya echiwe gị ọzọ today ikwete na ọ na-eme
ọbata obi daalụ nna m a sị na onye na-eme ka m si eme ka m na-akpọ ọyịm ọma
You have made history today. By the power conferred on me as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. And after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law.
As a professional, and secondly, I speak as a Nigerian, nothing more, nothing less. Professionally speaking, the Finnish authorities have done their due diligence and they have reasonable grounds to arrest Mr. Simon Ekpa. And in that arrest, they followed due diligence to now charge him based on the information we are getting. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do for clarifications, to authenticate all these informations. Now, with that due diligence done, it's now meant for the law court now look into the request
My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program, I welcome you. I thank you for being part of this program. Please like and share the program to family and friends. Share the program to everyone that is close to you. It's going to be different, but I want you to pay attention because it's important. I understand that so many of us are worried, so many of us are getting confused, so many of us are getting distracted, but I urge every Biafran to stay strong. Always remember that freedom doesn't come cheap. Freedom comes with a lot of responsibility, and you must be able to be ready to take that responsibility before you embark on freedom. In one of the messages to Mazen Nandekano, he was told that until you show that your life worth your freedom, you can't get it. In the pursuit of the freedom of Biafrans, we know there are many interests that is fighting against us, and we must continue to forge ahead without getting distracted. Those who are watching me now and the people that are going to watch this program later, please like and share, for we will continue to pass this information so that everybody will get the information. Our Supreme Amazon Nanikano is in the hand of the enemies. In the same way, our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa was taken away from us. We know very well that the local authority in Finland are the ones holding our Prime Minister, and they have restricted him from making communications. Every one of us know how things work in Europe, in Africa, in America, and other places. Situation cannot change because of our Prime Minister. Finland cannot change their steps and strategies because of our Prime Minister. And every one of us know that our Prime Minister is somebody who is not just a common man in the street. I understand how worried Biafrans are, but in the midst of your worry, you must be able to control your emotions and feelings. Do not act or speak out of emotions. Without anybody telling us, everybody knows that Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko has not committed any crime known to man. We know he has not violated any crime. We know that this is a man who have had a very clean slate in Finland. If he doesn't have a clean slate in Finland, I bet you the declaration of Biafra will not hold in Latin. If Mazi Simon Ekpa is not genuine, there is no way Finland government will allow Biafrans to come into Finland and declare Biafra. It is not possible. For the fact that they are questioning our prime minister, and for the fact that they are holding our prime minister, questioning him, somebody who is the head and in charge of that very United States of Biafra is being questioned. And yet, the organization was allowed to go ahead, do their inauguration, do their convention, and declare Biafra. That shows that Mazi Simon Ekpa was pursuing a genuine cause. Whatever questioning they are questioning him today is a normal procedure that they will go. In as much as we know it has a political undertone. We know there are pressures on Finland. We know they have tried and tried and tried to restrict themselves, but the pressure was too much because of where they belong. But that will not make them to go against the law. The law will always take its course. In as much as some other manipulations might come in, some delay must come in, but delay is not denial. The delay to allow our prime minister to communicate with us is worrisome. Many people are worried. I can understand it, but don't think because of that worry you became over emotional. Every one of us know the ABC of the laws across the world. The only place that we know that are unlawful, more especially, is Africa, mainly Nigeria. But when it comes to Europe, there are some informations you cannot hold back, and there are some information you cannot hide. Every one of us know what transpired when Mazi Simon Ekpa was invited the very first time. On that invitation, we saw pictures, we saw statements on their media, we saw reports in Finnish media. But at this point in time, ask yourself, why is it a different issue? Why is it a different case? Something must be wrong. And we are going to be patiently waiting until we unravel that mystery. Do not speak out of emotion. Don't get confused or get over troubled. That is why today many propaganda is coming right, left, and center. Some bloggers will wake up and tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa is in Nigeria. Some bloggers will tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa has been extradited already. Somebody just wrote me a message. The other one called me and said they saw a blogger post and said that Mazi Simon Ekpa is already in Nigeria. And I laugh. I don't know why people derive joy in pushing false informations. And the painful thing is that I don't know why it is so easy for some of us to believe these false informations and begin to work towards it. Some of us begin to get worried with those false information. You must always try to apply your common sense to every single information you hear or you see. So many times people are carrying out wrong informations. Some of them to hurt you, some to demoralize you. Some are when they know that you are very emotional and when they know that this is something you love, in order to distract you and make you step out of line, they are going to push you to the wall. Why are some of us paying attention to the pressure coming from those who are not even concerned about our freedom? Don't allow this pressure to get hold of you. They are going to do everything humanly possible to make you feel bad. Don't allow it. Do not allow it. I can understand some of us are being troubled. You don't have to be over troubled. The Western country is not Africa. If there is anything that is happening to Mazi Simon Ekpa, the information must go out. The Finnish government must say that. And when you talk about extradition, extradition, before extradition happened, there had to be a court process. There has to be a court process to pursue extradition. We have seen it happen several times in Europe. The case of Mazi Simon Ekpa will not be a different issue. You don't extradite just for doing, just like that. No matter what your interest is, no matter what the interest is, you cannot extradite somebody just in a twinkle of an eye without going to the court. And the court process takes long. And if there is such process going on, if there is such hearing going on, people are going to attend the court. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has a law firm. He is a lawyer. He is a lawyer, and he has a law firm in Finland. Do you think that there will be such a thing happening, and his own law firm with lawyers working with him will not pass information, and they cannot attend? Why do some of us think that Mazi Simon can face a secret trial? Why do you think that the Finnish government can conduct a secret trial against Mazi Simon Ekpa? The only plain explanation we know is that he has some restrictions. It's very understandable when there are such restrictions. We have not heard that he's been found guilty. We have not heard that he is now attending a extradition process court in the court. Extradition hearing. We never had such a thing. Why do you allow people to push you to the wall, to begin to make you have heartache and have hypertension unnecessarily? For us to know and understand better, I want to play this very video. This was one of the analysis that was made when the news of the detention of our Prime Minister broke up, and people were talking about extradition, right, left, and center. There was somebody who was an expert in Europe who knows much about this, and he made a broadcast. I want you to pay attention to what this man said. I am going to play the video now in full. Listen carefully to what he said. Maybe it will help you to begin to wrap your mind around what is happening. And stop believing lies and propagandas out there. Let us listen to this very illustration.
Professional. And secondly, I speak as a Nigerian, nothing more, nothing less. Professionally speaking, the Finnish authorities have done their due diligence, and they have reasonable grounds to arrest Mr. Simon Ekpa. And in that arrest, they follow due diligence to now charge him based on the information we are getting. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do for clarifications, to authenticate all these informations. Now, with that due diligence done, it's now meant for the law court in Finland to now look into the request by the Chief of Defense Staff to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. Professionally speaking, the chances are possible to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. However, in my opinion, it's almost impossible, though it's not 100% impossible, because one, there is no extradition treaty between Finland and Nigeria. Number two, the Finnish authorities have every right to take him to court to answer to the charges against him, and that is perfect, that is due diligence. And afterwards, don't forget the CJEU, the Criminal Justice of the European Union, also have a right under the European human rights to also test if he's suitable to be extradited to Nigeria based on one, the charges against him, and number two, the fundamentals, because he has to defend himself in a court of law. You cannot just bring charges without him answering in response to the reasons why he's inciting violence, to the fundamentals why he thinks there's a reason for him to request for self-determination for the people of Biafra. The Criminal Court of Justice of the European Union has to check if they believe in self-determination. They have to check if they believe in human rights abuses. Because bringing that man to Nigeria is a great idea, but I'm not sure that the Chief of Defense Staff should go home and relax and sleep, because they have to consider the human rights records in Nigeria as a country. Obviously, we are all Nigerians. We know our human rights records. There is nothing to boast about. And in instances like people that have disappeared in Nigeria, off my head, Daddy Yatta is still being looked for. Nobody has seen him for years. The people that participated in the so-called NSAS protest, many of them, after the panel, no human rights justice for them. The people that were involved in the End Bad Governance protest, no human rights for them. Even last week, we saw the human abuse of a couple by an army general. Up to today, we are still hearing. Or about politicians who believe they can buy the justice system in Nigeria. Or politicians who believe they can buy vehicles, build houses for justices. So obviously, we have to understand that Simon Ekpa has to answer to his charges against him. I think that's due diligence to do, and I support that. However, we have to also ask ourselves, can the Finnish authorities, if they want to copy what we do in Nigeria, example, Simon Ekpa is a politician in Finland today. He joined politics in 2017 and is a member of the National Coalition Party, the ruling party in Finland today. They won their national elections in February this year, and they have a president of the country. Simon Ekpa also served the country as an army officer. Now, if you look at these human rights records in Nigeria, what Nigerian politicians have done about justice in Nigeria, do you think the National Coalition Party of Finland will feel comfortable to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria based on zero extraditory treaty between Nigeria and Finland and based on human rights of Nigeria in general? So I think the right thing has been done. Okay. But in conclusion, sir, I think Nigeria also has the copy from Finland to know that due diligence matters. Due diligence space, not where people can buy justices.
I hope you have listened to this man. This was at the early stage. At the early stage, when Mazi Simon Ekpa was called in for questioning. Even at the time this man made this very comment, the informations were still sketchy. Every one of us understand that the Finnish local authority invited Mazi Simon Ekpa for questioning. And since then, they've been holding him down. Do you think that Mazi Simon Ekpa cannot go through the court process in Finland, or he will be tried in the secret? We know the human rights record of Finland, an European country. There is no way Mazi Simon Ekpa will be tried in secret based on his profile in that very country. If Mazi Simon Ekpa have committed any crime based on his profile, Mazi Simon Ekpa will not be tried in the secret. And Finnish news is going to give us the feedback, just that they have been doing all this while. In the past, when he was called in, there is a mystery behind the silence of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. All we have to do is to be patient and continue to pray for him until that mystery unravels. Stop listening to blackmail and propaganda. Stop being too much emotional. Freedom doesn't come cheap. It comes with great sacrifice. And sometimes you must push to the extreme before your voice will be heard. You must push to extreme before your voice will be heard. Mazi Simon Ekpa cannot speak to us without achieving something. Mazi Simon Ekpa is somebody who fights a fight and loses. He's not somebody who fights a fight halfway. Before Mazi Simon Ekpa embarks in anything, there is always a target. He has a target. And until he achieves that target that has made him silent, he might not speak to us yet. There is something he's chasing. He has spoken about dragging Nigeria to the ICC on several occasions. He has spoken about actions against Nigeria. He has tried to pull Nigeria to Finland on several occasions, and they ran away. Opportunity called themselves. Nigeria by themselves took themselves and presented in a case that doesn't concern them. A case that was reported to local authority by Nigerians in Finland. Nigeria dragged themselves into it. And they bring in their delay system. And Mazi Simon Ekpa is willing to wait for as long as it takes to make sure that he nails Nigeria for the very last time. Don't be too emotional. All you have to do is to continue to pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa. Just as the Deputy Prime Minister explained in the past explanation she made, the freedom of Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to come when it will come. You cannot influence it by propaganda. You cannot influence it by blackmail. You cannot influence it by your emotion. You cannot influence it by insulting Finnish government or saying things that doesn't matter. You cannot influence it by making some unnecessary assumptions. All you need to do is to be consistent in your prayers and also continue to do what you have to do to demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and for your freedom. We must continue to pursue the restoration of Biafra and the recognition, regardless what happens and what you see. Do not get distracted. It is important that I chip in these words so that we don't get carried away. Now, after saying this, I am going to share with you also a program that was held among other Biafrans so that we can listen and pay attention and hear this very information. For those who missed the program when it was held, it's an opportunity for you also to join on the program.
Stood against it that this Biafra should not be declared, knowing fully well where we are coming from, knowing fully well the battles, the stumbling blocks, the sabotaging that we have gone through from the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down to that day, 29th of November 2024. They are all aware. And that day came, people stood and was trying to walk against it. And somebody stood her ground or stood his ground and said, no, that this Biafra must be declared on this day because of where we are coming from, because of the people that are fighting us, both physically, spiritually, within, and otherwise. This is the reason we are here. And this reason must be accomplished. She did it. She came out of it. It was declared. As if that is not enough. After the declaration, they gang up again. They started fighting her that Biafra was not declared. It was declared. We are still in Brigi, this and that. Till today, they are still fighting. The account that they themselves used, they tag it to be an Islamic account. They tag it to be they call it all sorts of names. As if that one is not enough. The men on ground, they wade into the men on ground. Today, our people are dying because of their activities. And we that are watching, you think when the countries happens to recognize Biafra and Biafra have now been restored fully as an independent nation, or we have taken over our land successfully, then you think that this group of people, this particular group of people, as I'm going to Biafra land, and they themselves, they will carry their bag and say they are going to Biafra land with me, my brother, it won't work. it will never work. We will chase them even underneath their mother's bed. We will chase them and chase them to wherever they are. It will never work. Look at the damages these people have done. The momentum that was used in that declaration, if we have stood by it, by now, Musa will not come out to say they are relaxed or they don't have problem in Biafra land. Our land wouldn't have been neutralized in everywhere because of the activities. If that momentum was sustained to this point, the whole world would have been talking about us. Even the countries that were even standing afar would have come closer to us. With all this propaganda that is going on, that everything, all the energies are put in place to propagate our declaration, things would have changed. Even our people that were sitting in the fence, all of them would have been coming out.
Definitely.
But no, today, look at where we are. And those group of people that have collected money from one way or the other, then you think somebody like them will come and say, "Yeah, we are sorry. Oh, yes, we are sorry. It was the work of devil and all that. And please, let's come together. We are all Biafran. God punish you, punish your descendant." It will never happen. It will never happen. So all these things, I in fact, sometimes I just don't really understand our people. Sometimes, in fact, I don't know how God managed to bring out Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister, even now to Ngozi Obasanjo. I don't know. If you ask me, sometimes I will just be thinking and saying, "Now, wow, with the character of our people, the antecedents of our people, all the activities of our people, we still find this set of people still fighting hard to liberate this brainless set of people, these people that doesn't think straight. Despite all they have done, they stood their ground. It's only God that can do it, my brother. It's just only God that can do it. Because you can't tell me that somebody that looks like a drunkard, somebody that changes name, that have numerous names, uncountable names, will come out tomorrow to come and tell you that he's going to bring out Biafra. A criminal is a criminal. And any criminal always work to the interests of those oppressors. That is exactly what is playing out today. Exactly what is playing out today. Nigerian government and Nkeri know what they are doing. But our people that are following them, I feel very sorry for them. My heart is broken for people not to reason. My heart is broken for people not to reason. I saw a video this morning. I was shared by this lunatic and a low-life boy. They call Raphael. The guy was talking about charter. And I keep asking them, in that charter, is there any provision that stays in the absence of the Prime Minister? The so-called conflict revolution should organize an election. Is there anywhere it's being written in that charter? When I look at these people, I feel very sorry for them, for them and for their children. Because whatever you do today will be reckoned in times to come. It will be paid back. Because even the Bible said that is going to use the how does the Bible put it? The third generation, the sins of the third generation to judge the present also. And we are going to do the same. So if your father is doing wrong, call your father brother. We are not in Biafra Republic government. We are the United States of Biafra. It was declared, signed, and sealed. So no one should be deceived. These so-called lobbies that was talking that he gave, it was a brigade that I have a agreement with. I asked him in his comment section, I said, you are fantastically corrupt. Yeah. Is it the brigade you are fighting to recognize, or the United States of Biafra you are fighting to recognize?
Exactly.
For?
Exactly.
So that we know where we are. Because you can't tell me that you are a lobbyist, you are lobbying for
Briggy.
Government in exile. It's not done. If it is, if there is any agreement that was written under brigade, what is the aim of brigade? What are they fighting for? What is the end point? That is what we are talking about. And we were there on ground when Biafra was declared, meaning all along you weren't even happy because you are there to make your money. Nigeria is giving you, you are getting from us. My brother, I eat my mic. Let all my other brothers contribute to this.
Thank you so much for that final line of thoughts. That is a very big question that Biafrans should always digest within themselves. These things are very simple to see, but some of us turn a blind eye to it. For somebody who claims to be a lobby, that is a very big question. Are you lobbying for Briggy or you are lobbying for United States of Biafra? What we are pursuing is United States of Biafra. And secondly, why were you there in Finland? Why were you there in Finland? Where the United States of Biafra was declared, and you saw Biafrans jubilate and penned their signatures. More than 500 Biafrans put down their signature. And you had the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orebeze, COS, state and said, on behalf of the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the person you claim that signed the agreement with you on behalf of the government when we were in Briggy. You had the COS, the Deputy Prime Minister, speak on behalf of Mazi Simon Ekpa. You will still see the name of Mazi Simon Ekpa signed on that declaration. That from 29th onward, we cease to be in Briggy. We are now to be recognized as the United States of Biafra. And you claim you are intelligent. So when you go to DC to represent, are you going to represent Briggy or you're going to present the United States of Biafra have been declared? Of course, you have made it clear that you don't approve of the United States of Biafra and that what you're going for is the government in exile Briggy. You have made it clear that you continue to propagate Briggy even after we have declared. And that has made you automatically out of the lobby for the United States of Biafra. We don't know who you're working for. But from your statement, it's very clear. It's very clear who you're working for, because if you are working for the government of Biafra under the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, you should know from the onset, the main purpose of going to Finland was to declare Biafra. That is the main purpose of going to Finland for that very convention. It was to declare Biafra. And we have been singing it, Mazi Simon himself have been singing it, that It will be called the United States of Biafra. He has said it even before that time. He has made many broadcasts where he has mentioned the United States of Biafra. But we are going to legitimize it. He said it. The legitimacy of the United States of Biafra will be driven from the documents that will be generated from that very convention. And whatever you are doing on behalf of Biafra will be based on the documents that are generated on that very convention. And today, somebody who claimed to be a representative is saying a different thing. Now, use your tongue and count your teeth. He has finally relegated to himself to the dustbin where he belongs with those he's following. You're welcome, my beloved brother Maxwell. Go ahead and speak to us, Max.
Thank you so much, Mazi Chooks, the great son of Biafra land. Good morning to you. Good morning to the rest of my, my brothers. I do not know whether they are men or women. My co-panelists as well. I thank you, every one of you, and may God continue to bless you as you continue in this fight for the restoration of our land, Biafra. May God bless those in the comment section, those that are typing on daily basis, trying to keep this platform running. I say, may Chukwu Kabema continue to bless each and every one of you. And the time that you spend on this particular platform per day, may Chukwu Kabema return same in 100-fold for you and provide for you whatever that you have lost, participating in this, discussion. May God bless my able leader, Mazi Namdekan, wherever he is. His health, his personal, condition is what matters to me. How healthy he is there, but I believe that Chukwu Kabiyama is in control. No matter the attack, be it psychological or otherwise, meted out on him to break him, would not work. Let our God, Chukwu Kabiyama, that brought every one of us out here to fight the way we are fighting, to restore the dignity, bring back the dignity of Biafran people and the Biafran land, will do it for us. And I also pray that God will protect and keep the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has been incarcerated for some time now, isolated, taken away from, his people, the circle of his people, making the job a little bit difficult. May God bless him and protect him wherever he is. All the allegations that are leveled or proffered against him, may Chukwu Kabiyama ruin them one after the other and destroy the activities and the plans of the enemy against that great son of Biafra. I am also using this opportunity to ask God too to protect the COS, the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, that God will guide her, protect her from the arrows that are being fired both day and night at her. May Chukwu Kabiyama protect the great daughter of Biafra land. May he strengthen her to carry on the affairs of the Biafran people. Continue to fight. Prepare her tongue. Prepare her legs. Prepare her brain. Prepare every vital organ in her body. Make her comments and statements when she is visiting these diplomats. Be sweet in their ears. May we find favor through her.
You see?
I repeat, may we find favor through her with the support of Chukwu Kabiyama. Mazi Chooks and every one of us that are here today, I am going to tell you, and I stand to be corrected, that I have no regret volunteering to join, to fight and support in any way that I can for the restoration of my mother's ancestral land, that alone is personal and sacrosanct to me. If an enterprise formed or discovered by Gold, administered by Lugard, later bought with about 600,000 pounds or thereabouts by the British, someone and named that country Nigeria. And some people today will say they are proud. What stops me from saying that I am overly proud of Biafra? Overly proud of Biafra. I volunteered to do what I do. Nobody forced me, nobody coerced me into coming in. And I am going to support until that Biafra is restored. I have my people that are also pushing, that has nothing in common with Nigeria. I mean, with Biafra, God forbid. I'm pardon me. Me mentioning Nigeria in this kind of way, in a praise form like this. No. I have so many of my people that are around me that have seen the reasons why they should push me and support me to do what I am doing, as long as it's something that is good to do. But surprisingly to me, there are notable true Biafrans that cannot, instead of them to support, they are busy causing chaos everywhere, causing rancor and bickering. When you speak to them, Mazi Chooks, if you go into my DM, if you go into my X account, what I published the other day, that the foolishness of power tussle, even Hitler cannot. If you go there, you see the attacks that I am getting from them. I'm not bothered. I am not bothered. I have thick skin. I can live with a madman or mad woman. I have thick skin. When we were joining the Nigerian army, they said, "Oh, the Nigerian army made us thick." When they put you through what they put us through, especially some of us that are from the Biafran zone, you will know that you have no other person apart from yourself and Chukwokika Biam that is controlling you. I have no. If you see the barrage of insults that I am receiving, simply because I said I would not believe or follow the path these people have chosen. If you see the insults, some are calling me evil, some are calling me is it fuck nigger nigger ass or what?
They just want to make sure they get you angry, but all you have to defeat them is to smile more. The more they talk, you smile more. When you come online, you smile more.
You see, when you go to my reply, every day that I wake up, I will forever continue to thank God for giving me the kind of old mother He gave to me. Even when you are insulted, there are words that you will put out. And people who have wisdom in them, wise people in there, will tell you that, my brother, what you are doing, stop. They will caution them. They will caution them. And people that will read through what you have replied, instead of returning in full force, but you return simply because there is something that you believe in. Respect. They will understand that, yes, this man or this lady was brought up in a good home and in a good hands. That is what we are going to show these people. I won't insult them. The only time that I will come after them is when it begins to cost the life of those that are supposed to be protected. No matter what they do, it must not cost the life of those that we are out here to protect. If you believe in freedom and Biafra, all pride and arrogance will be swallowed so that Biafra will come. But you see it, I call it, these are grown people, adults. I cannot say it's useful exuberance. No, I can't say that because these are adults that have families. You can't call them youth. These are adults. Well, in a fight like this, there are a group of people that will not align with your own thought and whatever you believe in. But I am here to support you and tell every Biafran that is listening to me to be brave. Be brave. Do not be distorted or disturbed by the antics of these people. Do not. We have a greater task ahead of us. The task that we have to bring back peace and freedom of our people is not a small one. We need every people, everybody. We need all hands on deck in order to push it to a conclusive end. I love every one of you. And I say, as you go about this, preaching this gospel, supporting in any way that you can, may Chukwu Kikabiyama never allow your own to spoil. While you are preparing for the people back home, Chukwu Kikabiyama will be busy restoring and preparing your own as well.
You see?
And I would like to use this opportunity to tell you people that today, I'm just watching it on my screen here, we are going to have a new president that is going to take over from one of the most horrific presidents and administration that we had. In fact, for the first time in the history, yes, for the first time in the history of Ghana, since independence, since 1957, we got our independence and become a republic in 1960. The beating that this incumbent has received this time can never be compared. Over 1.7 million Ghanaians voted, passed a verdict that you are not doing well. And that is what we have said, and we stand by it. John Dramani Mahama, that is going to be inaugurated as the new president of Ghana today, we wish you well. We know that a lot of things has gone wrong. A lot of damages have been done on our water bodies. The illegal mining, gold mining that is going on in Ghana called Galamsey. The economic hardship, the devaluation of Ghana city, the high cost of living in this country, high utility, high petrol prices, and so on and so forth. You cannot tackle them at the same time. But surround yourself with people who have the same, thinking with you. People that can help you to reverse, if not in totality, but at least improve the life of an average Ghanaian that has been put, just like the Biafran people have been subjected to today. We have spoken. Surround yourself with people that have the same mindset with you. Surround yourself with people that can deliver. We don't expect much from you, John Dramani Mahama, President-elect. We wish that you would add meaning and add positivity to the lives of average Ghanaians. And I am calling on my mother's ancestral land and the great people of Biafra, the United States of Biafra, to join me in celebrating my new president, that is John Dramani Mahama of the NDC political party. Thank you so much, and may Chukwu Gabriel continue to bless everyone of you. I love you all.
We love you more. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you and to all the Ghanaian people for their new president. It is congratulations. At least, no matter how bad it is in Ghana, it can never be as bad as it is in Nigeria. In Africa as a whole, Ghana is one of the countries that is still setting some examples for others to learn. They are still leading on so many things. It can never be as bad as it is in Nigeria. We congratulate the Ghanaians for their successful election and the appointment of a new president to move on and continue to move forward. If there is nothing to be happy about, at least there is a progress. In every government that comes in Ghana, you will see a progress. There will be a change. It will be better than the previous one. But in Nigeria, what we see is that every government that comes becomes worse than the past. That is why the case of Nigeria is something that everybody should begin to fast and pray. For those of them who believe that only prayer can solve their problem, add fasting to your prayer to end that contraption called Nigeria. If in your dream they told you that there will be a government that will be worse than Buhari, would you ever believe that? None of us believe that there will be a government in Nigeria that will be worse than Buhari. For Nigeria to produce a government worse than Buhari, you should know that it is impossible for anything to get better in that zoo. If you like, continue to deceive yourself. If you like, continue to pretend. The zoo have been sold out. Sold out and sold to the Janjaweed. And they were made to believe that Nigeria is their own, even when they know that Nigeria does not belong to them. Nigeria was handed over to foreigners to continue to manipulate and manage the contraption, the company that belonged to British. The British company was handed over to foreigners to manage. And those foreigners today are still managing it by fire, by force. And anytime you represent that name, Nigeria, wherever you go with that name, Nigeria, you will always face calamity. You will always face oppression. You will always face attack. Anytime you present yourself and represent yourself in that name, you are in trouble. Because that company belongs to the British and the foreigners, they gave it over to handle. Sometimes when we say certain things, some of you think we are making it up because we are Biafrans. You think it's a propaganda. I want to play a video that some of you will listen. Let us listen to this video and hear. And for the record, the man that is going to speak to you here is a Fulani man. Let us listen to him, what he has to say, then we come back.
200 people have been unalived in Nigeria during the Christmas break, and they blame my people, Fulani people, for it. This is my statement. Fulani people, you don't know yourself. You are ignorant of who you are, and you are ignorant of your history, which is why you do the wrong thing at the wrong time. You are not from Nigeria. Why are you creating problems with Nigerian people? You are not from Ghana. You are not from Cameroon. Ya Pullo Felatiyin. You are descendants of Umayyad conquerors. You are the Moors that invaded Spain. Your nature is to want to spread Islam, but you cannot spread Islam in certain areas in certain time periods. If you do it, it will be by force and it's not going to work. As nomadic people, the future is not to keep on going more and more south into the lands that your ancestors called the Sudan and invade farmers' land. The future of the nomads is to take back the north, which is your ancestral lands as Fulani people.
The person that just spoke is a Fulani. And when you hear about, they still speak about taking over. It's always taking occupation. Even with all his wisdom and knowledge, he's also telling them to go up north and take over, not the southwest. Take over. It's about conquering. And they have never succeeded in conquering anybody. They have never succeeded in conquering anybody, these Fulani people. Ordinary Tifi, they could not, sorry to say ordinary Tifi, they could not be able to conquer Tifi people. Tifi people, they couldn't be able to conquer them. And today, they are still dreaming of conquering Biafrans. A dream that will never come true. Go ahead, my beloved brother Max.
I don't blame him. He contradicts himself as well. In fact, my brother, just find a notable person from Fulani, extraction, from where you are, and ask them where is their promised land. They will boldly tell you Nigeria. The imposter that was there before Buhari said the same thing. He was calling all of them to have free access to Nigeria.
Yeah, based on the contract they reached with the British.
Good. These are some of the things. Look, let me tell you, there is what the British did to the indigenous people from that geographical zone, that enterprise called Nigeria, is what the United Kingdom wants to do in Rwanda today. I know you know about that.
Yeah.
They want to relocate some refugees down to Rwanda.
Yeah.
Rwanda agreed, but some of the people in the United Kingdom, the reasonable ones that were not there when they were doing what they did to Nigeria and against the indigenous people that found themselves in that so-called Nigeria. They said no. They voted money, millions of pounds or in dollars, and gave it to Rwanda in preparation to accept the refugees that we're about to send to them. Now, do you know what that means? I want you all to also look at what happened to Lebanon today. It was as a result of receiving refugees of Islamic extractions that made Lebanon today an Islamic nation. I'm telling you the truth. You can research it. I have found out, and I've listened to one historian, a lady from Lebanon, how she explained. And remember, she is one of the indigenous people in Lebanon. That was how it was taken over. Spreading of Islam. They've captured a lot of places in the northern part of Nigeria. The only place they refused, they could not capture, is the Kanuri. Is it the Braining Kanuri Empire or something like that? The Kanuri people. These are the people in Borno that they failed, they have never captured. And that will tell you the reason why Boko Haram is very, very active in that particular area. The Hausas have been captured.
Yes.
The Hausas have been captured. Their dignity has been taken away from them. When a stranger enter into your land and take over your traditional stool, that is your identity. That is who you are. Like they define it. It's a culture and tradition is the way of life of a people. Their ancestral, lifestyle. They have taken it away from you and imposed a foreign traditional system that you are not conversant with. The Emirates. Emirate is not Hausa. Emirate is not northern. It's alien to northern Nigeria. But they brought it. How did they do it? They used the same people to fight the same people. The same thing that they are doing. The same template everywhere. You understand? That is what is going on. They have been captured. They've been captured. And we must try as much as we can not to allow those things to replicate in Biafra land. Do not take them for granted. Do not take them for granted. What Hope Uzodinma is doing in Imo State is exactly the same template they use against the Hausa indigenous people, the Tayep, the rest, the Angas. and the Lantam people, the indigenous people in the northern part of Nigeria. And we will not allow that to happen to us. We will not. They will play it, they will play the script, they will do it, and it will seem to happen. But we don't pray. God forbid that such thing happen in Biafra land. We will not allow that to happen. And we must stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it from happening to our people. And the actions of some of our people today will tell you that they are still playing the same scripts. The enemies are there. They are preparing, gathering their fire, their stick, their weapons, and everything to come to you. But all you can do within yourself is to begin to pick up fight against your own people that are fighting the same freedom. And when we agree to fight amongst ourselves, what will happen? We'll fight, and at the end, some will go, some will be tired. Then the enemy will not come and do what they call mop up. They will mop us up. By then, we have done the job for them. That is what most of our people have not understand. Yeah. Just exactly what this guy said here. They want to take over the northern part of Nigeria. And the reasons why you see, in Katsina, how many? Eve of Christmas, the same thing happened. They buried a lot of people over there. Even kidnapping their own Mayeti people. If you do not agree with the ideology, we still have some liberal, Muslims in those places that doesn't care, that doesn't want to, get involved. But they will still come after them and pick them up. To tell you, if you allow these people with their actions and inaction, you allow these people to set their food, their feet in my mother's ancestral land, that you have nothing in common with them, what do you think that they will do to you? They will evaporate us. Nothing will remain on the ground. God forbid. That is the reason why we must intensify our effort to make sure that we deal with these people and whatever that crosses our way in this struggle for the restoration of my mother's ancestral nation, Biafra. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. You have spoken well, and that is it. So, on rounding up on this program, we've been here for more than 2 hours, getting to 3 hours now. So, let us make a conclusion with this video I'm about to play. You will hear this man explain the mystery of Nigeria and their criminality. And you will see the idiotic media who were there interviewing him and what they are going to say. Let us use it in our closing discussion and hear what they're going to say.
That you don't get a change.
Is it really true to say that, the northern part of the country exercises a veto power over the rest of Nigeria?
I can explain it. It has been reduced to a very bare fist issue. You have a president who can say that all the international agencies dealing with Nigeria should move more positive issues to the north. That is to say, General Buhari, the World Bank has confessed it in the open that they are required to move things to the north. The structure of government as it exists has...
You see, this thing that this man mentioned here is a very delicate thing that nobody discussed in Nigeria. When the World Bank said in the open that Muhammadu Buhari instructed them expressly to focus on the north, this was on the media. Every one of these idiots saw it, and it didn't make a headline, and they never discussed it then. These are people who are claiming they are one Nigerians, who are promoting their one Nigeria idiotic ideology. Let's hear.
It's so banalized that nepotism is almost written into the Nigerian constitution in a manner that almost all other state functionaries are obliged to assume that that is the way to run a government. If that is not a way of turning the veto holder into an almost divine, into having a divine right to make things happen their way. There's no other way of explaining it. It just so happens that what was a mere veto holder yesterday has become a divine push. And let me tell you what is more terrible about that divine push.
There are Southerners who have been exercising veto power in the course of Nigerian history.
I will explain
so
this.
it's not as if it's only in the north.
I will explain
this
this.
hegemony.
The average educated Nigerian, in order to be shown as a liberal, very freedom-loving, democratic person, is always trying to be nice to the North. There is no reason to be nice to the North. They are our brothers, and we have...
This statement is very strong, and it is something they are running away from. For you to be relevant in Nigeria, for you to be contest for anything and win, you must show to love the North, and you must give them a special preference. This is something that have been written down, and they are doing. Look at their Peter Obi. Peter Obi today is pinching his tent in the North, going to North to donate money, traveling to North when everything happened to it. But in his own domot, in his own home, in Anambra State, where he belongs, up to his village, people are dying, people are losing their life, insecurity is taking over. You will never see him speak about it. But when there's a loss of life in the North, you will hear him. The same thing with the Southwest. Anyone that wants to be relevant, you must have an allegiance to the North to pacify them in everything that happens for you to be relevant. Is that how a country is supposed to run? And this attitude is almost written in their constitution. They are the first-class citizens. Why every other person can go to hell and burn to ashes? This is something that's happening that people don't pay attention to. Let's keep listening.
Shown as a liberal, very freedom-loving, democratic person is always trying to be nice to the North. There is no reason to be nice to the North. They are our brothers, and we have a right to fight over the issues that we need to change. It is no longer right to be nice to the North, because in this particular case, I give you a very good example now. You have a governor who tells you that all the non-Nigerian Fulanis must be catered for by the Nigerian state, and actually argues against the respect for international boundaries, argues against national policies on the grounds that one ethnic group, which just happened to be the ethnic group with which the British worked out an alliance, should permanently remain a freeholder, moving across all boundaries, respecting no laws and things of that nature. If you are talking about all Nigerians having a right, that is a claim to a divine right that you are not allowed to touch unless you belong to that ethnic fraction in Nigeria. If that ethnic fraction had the means to create a nation, they would have created one by now. The truth is that between the Fulani and the Hausa, there is a very badly structured sense of nationality. The way people talk about it, those who know, they will say a pulo is a pulo and a kado is a kado. It means that although they speak the same language, they have not managed to create a sense of nationality. And they have imposed that in every other part of Nigeria and in every Nigerian conference and situation. We just don't need, we don't have to be over-liberal. Let us confront the issues. When you allow a small minority to control a majority, as I once said in this station, they can only rule by falsehood and violence. And that is what we are having. I give you one good example. The agitation for state creation and for changing the boundaries of the various states began as early as 1904. The Lorin people were already demanding to join their kith and kin in the western region. It never happened. Do you know that the Bagi of Nigeria, the Gwari, they are divided between 6 different states and have never been allowed to come together to form a state, whereas they are contiguous. But I'll tell you something. When you now have a governor, in fact 2 governors, Bauchi and Kebbi, when you now have 2 governors insisting that an ethnic group that does not even belong to Nigeria should be given special rights in Nigeria, and you find that those who are already in Nigeria, like the Gwari and many other ethnic groups, I will come to that, they are not even allowed to come together as an ethnic group. You will know that the source of the crisis is very strong.
Thank you, my beloved brother Max. This man, you know, when we talk about the problem, sometimes it's good we play from their own media, from their own mouth, for our people to understand. You know, sometimes other people are watching us, people of the world, people who are not even Biafrans, they are watching. So some of them, they might be seen us as troublemakers, or maybe we are saying things out of, blowing things out of proportion. That is why we play all these videos. You can see the confession of that man. Go ahead, my beloved brother Maxwell, and let's use that as our closing discussion and end the program and have a rest for other issues. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. You see, if you bring the issue of these attacks carried out by a particular ethnic group, you know, by trying to conquer territories that are not theirs, that they are not indigenous to, especially in Ghana here, people will say, why would Nigerians allow that to happen? This is the question they ask me all the time. Why will you allow someone who is not indigenous to that land to have so much power that they determine what happens in the country?
I wonder.
You understand? Do you know the problem is the indigenous people themselves? If you are trained as a boxer, Mazi Chooks trains you and give you all the techniques, how to move your head, your footworks, your fast hands, and so on and so forth. How to down and, you know, return, how to evade punches, and so on and so forth. He places it into your head and you enter into the ring. And when you enter into the ring, the way your coach expected your opponent in that square to perform is not what is performing. What will you do as a boxer with your opponent in that square, space? You devise your own means. You devise your own means and add it to what your coach has spoken to you. If the British and the throne of England empower these people so much and give them so much power over millions, tens of millions of other indigenous people, must they rely on the same status quo that has brought misery, blood, poverty, conquest, and so on against them? It is the inactions of these people, like this man that is speaking here. Was he not among the people that supported the same criminal status quo to fight the Biafran people from 1967 to 1970? From the look of him, he is from the Yoruba extraction, isn't he?
Yes.
Did they not support? I was listening to someone, one guy told me, say, oh, the Yoruba didn't fight the Yoruba didn't fight the Biafrans during the war. One irresponsible boy that I don't know where he was coming from. Who were the people that supported the Nigerian government to fight the Biafran people for 3 years? Who were they? Apart from the Biafrans, the rest of them fought against the Biafran people. And what the Biafran people were fighting for that time, is it not the same thing that is happening today? The regional system of government, they came to a eastern region in Accra, Ghana here, to sign. Is it not what they are revisiting today? Why wouldn't they allow the agreement that was signed in Ebru here to work for the rest of Nigerian people? If those agreements were adhered to, Mazi Chooks, you will see me today, and I would not even see you coming out to fight for, because things were moving on fine. Everybody were in their own space doing things. If you are going there, you know the reason why you are going there, what you are going to do. They destroyed it. They fought us till today. The new one now is to call the agitator Biafran agitator terrorists. That is what they have done to us. So let them enjoy. That small python they fed. The small python they fed. has grown so big, and that python is sizing them now, getting prepared to swallow them. Let them enjoy it while we fight, for our own freedom. Let them enjoy the superiority of the Fulani Caliphate, that they supported in the past. It will consume them. And I pray and pray and pray that our people in the Biafran zone will swallow their pride and come out to realize that we have an existential problem that we need to fight and must fight it head on. Extricate ourselves from these people and let them do whatever they want to do to themselves. Why? We are controlling our own space. This is what I have to say. If you look at Abati, I listen to Abati. When it comes to Biafran people, Reuben Abati will begin to pull the strings, will begin to tell you what to do. Go and listen to the recent interview with Buba Galadima. I don't know whether you have listened to it. Buba Galadima. When he was talking about the tax. The tax issue. Go and he was saying, okay, yes, sir. Yes, agree. Yes, agree. But he cannot do that. Anytime they hear the Biafran people, they will now begin to show you how they went to school, how you did not pay for their law school, how they are more educated than you. But Buba Galadima put him into the packet. When was that? Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday the interview was conducted? This is how these people are. The hypocrites, ostriches that will run and hide their head into the sand, exposing their bottom and not knowing that the hunter is also looking at the buttocks and will come and hit it at the back and kill it. This is how these people behave. Look at how, if it were somebody like Obi, a pro-Nigerianist of Igbo extraction, was being interviewed or said that, you will see how they are going to shut him and attack him left, right, and center. But these people, when they begin to speak, Buba Galadima spoke yesterday, he couldn't even say anything. He was totally in conformity with what Buba Galadima was expressing yesterday. Who gave them the power? Who made them stronger than the rest of the indigenous people, if not them? Who made them stronger? Yes,
it
is
with their media and their propaganda.
Yeah, you gave them, they gave them the power. Before you become a president today, the force population, it is, I have a lot to say, but we don't have time. We don't have time. It is only in Nigeria, even in my own part of Ghana here, the northern part of Ghana where my father comes from, Upper East, Northern region, Upper West, and the rest of them. We are sparsely populated. We are sparsely populated. We are the least when it comes to population. When you come to Accra, when you come to Kumasi, Accra, that are tropically rainforests, there is life. More population. Only in Nigeria, in the desert, that is where you have more life.
More population.
Than in the population than where there is water. The dry land, does dry land support lives?
I wonder. Only in Nigeria, desert is more
only
populated.
in Nigeria, Mazi Chicks. These people, in fact, it is going to take the Biafran people or any other reasonable, agitating group, to solve, to unmake what the British, did to that country. Thank you so much. And may Chugo Kikabiama continue to bless each and every one of you. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the media warriors like you, the ministers, the cabinet ministers, the cabinet members, the great people of United States of Biafra, and those that are sympathetic to our cause of freedom. I say, may God continue to bless you. From my side, and the love of the Kusasi people of Mole Dagbon ethnic group of Upper East region of Ghana, I say remain blessed and we love you all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Max. I appreciate you for the support and being part of this program. I appreciate you for all your support to this platform. Thank you so much for your support to the Biafran people as a whole. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. I appreciate everyone that have been part of this program from the beginning to the end. I thank you for being part of the program. And I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect every one of us that has participated on the program today. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every one of us. I want you to always continue to remember that there is only one United States of Biafra. Only one United States of Biafra. There is only one, not two, only one. And every one of us must do everything humanly possible to support that United States of Biafra today. The government of Biafra under Dr. Ngozi Oronigwe is doing everything humanly possible to see that we get a recognition and defend our land on the ground. Follow up every program of the government. Follow up on all the platform of the government, the United States of Biafra government, and our platform for our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Oronigwe. Follow her, get informations, stay away from fake news. Stay away from those platforms that will not give you information that is going to be profitable to you. Stay away. Just like the Deputy Prime Minister said, Osimiri anaghị eri onye ọfụrụ ọkpa ya anya. Osimiri anaghị eri onye ọfụrụ ụkwụ ya anya. If the sea does not see your leg, it will not swallow you. The sea swallows only those who stepped into it. Your feet must be in that sea for you to sink into the sea. You cannot be in your room and you sink in the sea. You can't be on the road and you sink in the sea. You must be in the sea for you to sink into it. Osimiri, Anara, stay away from Nigerian media. Stay away from those platforms that you know have nothing to offer to you, that are telling you lies, propaganda here and there. Follow the United States of Biafra platform. What will give you is the truth and nothing but the truth. It doesn't matter how bitter it sounds in your ear. We are not selling you certain things to make you happy. We are not telling it to you for you to be angry, but it is the truth and nothing but the truth. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every Biafrans as we continue to follow the truth. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Oronigwe. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No weapon formed or fashioned against them shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafrans shall prosper. I appreciate everyone that have participated on the program today, and I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect us until we get to the promised land very soon. Thank you so much for being part of this program. See you again next time. Stay blessed.
We have no mercy for those that come to disrupt the restoration of this struggle. We don't negotiate with anyone. We will never do that. Because when you do things like that, you encourage the same thing to be inside the government, and they will continue to do what they are doing. They said, Ade that says, Adam Wake Benanka. No matter how you try to leave them, to forgive them, to accept them, they will still come up with that same behavior. Because Nigerian government has a process of divide and conquer. They use people within to destroy what Biafrans are doing. We already know that, and that is why they are not going anywhere. That is why we stop them on their track. That is why we discover them anywhere they are, and we bring them down. That is what we will continue to do. No mercy. No mercy, because lives have been lost. People have died. Children have died. Innocent Biafrans have been murdered. They've spilled their blood. We are not joking. Anybody, any attorney, any lobbyist, you think we are joking in this restoration process? I pity you. Sorry will be your name.
Honorable Simon Ekpa.